Welcome to the Energy Hour. The Energy Hour is brought to you by Quality Home Improvement, Southern California's premier residential and commercial contractor, making homes and businesses energy efficient, one building at a time.
What's going on, Rob?
How you doing, Chris?
Oh, man, it is, Thursday? No, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday. God, you scared me.
You know what I'm saying? The weeks are coming by so fast.
Yes.
It's just like a flash now.
Isn't it amazing, too? I walked out today, and I was happy it was only in the 90s. I was like, to me, it was a moment where I said, wow, it feels so cool. And I'm like, and it's only in comparison to the 106 we've had for
106 for the last 2 days.
Oh, my God.
I mean, think about it. In Thousand Palms, it's 118.
Unbelievable.
I mean, how do you survive in that heat?
We were hotter than downtown Las Vegas yesterday and the day before.
Are birds even like flying around anymore? Or I don't see any.
It's weird. I'm in solar, which maybe I should love all this time of year.
Right.
And I really hate the heat.
Well, thank God I have a whole house fan from my
Nice.
friends at
Yeah.
Quiet Cool.
Yeah.
It only took me to like 10 p.m. until I turned the thing on because it
Really?
was still uncomfortable outside.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy, man. So if you have a 2-story house, if you have a house, period,
Yeah.
and you really don't want to use your air conditioning that much, get a Quiet Cool whole house fan.
Oh, heck yeah.
But we're not here to talk about whole house fans today.
No.
We're here to talk about an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because our company can now install solar systems in the following states. This is great. This is where the money's made. California, Utah, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, Long Island specifically. We have Texas. We're going to have Florida and Nevada come online soon.
Right.
So,
And I hear they're trying to work on the Carolinas as well.
the Carolinas. Yeah. Did you hear that,
Yeah.
Corey? My buddy's listening.
Yeah.
Corey, it's coming, man. So hang in there.
Hang in there.
Chicago and South Carolina are going to be a great spot for him to do what he's got to do.
Yeah.
So that being said, why wouldn't you work? You can work at home, have a list, have Google Earth,
Right.
and sell solar from. You can sell it from your toilet seat if you like.
Well, the thing is when we look at it, I know a lot of people that are still working for the larger companies.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and they haven't quite got the picture.
Did they drink a poison Kool-Aid or something?
A lot of Kool-Aid. A lot of
Kool-Aid?
Well, something that these companies are very good about is they have these events, and people are, what are these events for? They're taking me out of selling and doing what I need. It's to re-administer the Kool-Aid and to hype people up, and it's fine. But what we have here is almost the ability for somebody to be in business for themselves instead of working for someone else. And the problem with the JOB is it's a JOB, and these big companies. And we don't have to mention names because of the biggest names and biggest brands you know.
Just listen to the radio.
Exactly, right? So those big polished brands that you're going to see, the challenge is they have giant overheads.
That means it's going to come out of their paychecks.
It
got to be paid for some way.
They're no more price competitive than we are.
Yep.
Right? So they're that economy of scale somehow doesn't get really passed on to the customer. They're really not generous with their staff. As far as what they're paying them, considering what we know they probably make out of each deal, and it's a tough.
So let me hear this correctly, and this has happened in the past. So if you don't build a good foundation, and you worry about marketing,
right.
and you have all this overhead, eventually you're going to be like the Eiffel Tower. You're going to fall down.
Well, the thing, is. They are marketing machines. I mean, but marketing is part of sales. But the problem is the most of the way they're structured, and most of the way that they have the level of overhead that they carry all the time. They don't have. They don't have a lot of wiggle room to create a better opportunity for their staff. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And so what we see in order for them to cover those overheads, right? They have to create systems to do that. So what they do is they have quotas, and typically quotas are, unreasonably high at times, of what you have to sell every month. Okay. Sometimes a quota threshold that if you don't get to a certain point, you don't get commissions at all.
So this sales rep is got these pressure quotas in place, which gives them the ability to make mistakes.
Well, it also gives them, like, if you're having a bad month, and you're not selling maybe what you have to, you're not just selling.
You're just going to sell something to somebody.
You're selling something to either get to a quota to make money, or you're doing it because you're trying to save your job.
I don't know. That's a lot of stress, man.
Well, we have none, right? We don't have quotas. We don't have thresholds, because what we don't want to do is we don't want people that work with us to have what we used to call commission breath.
Commission breath?
Commission breath.
Oh, that's a first for me, man.
You never heard that?
No.
It's something I always said we have to make sure we avoid, because you can almost smell it on the breath of someone trying to sell something that, and to no fault of their own, they might have they got themselves to provide for, maybe a wife or a husband. They've got kids at home. They're trying to make a living. But these big companies typically put such a squeeze on them that, and if you don't close at 47% closing ratio, or you don't hit this number every month, then you're on a PIP, which is a performance, correction tool, basically.
So you're being watched like a parole officer.
Oh, absolutely. And I know people in the industry that if you get below your numbers, now you have to go in the office every morning at 8 o'clock in the morning to describe how you're going to correct yourself. I've watched this happen many, many times, and it's sad, and it drives down morale, and then people are just racing to get those sales. And guess who also pays for that? It's the customer. How many times do we hear?
Yeah.
How many times do we hear? I didn't get any follow up from that guy.
Yeah, tons of it.
Or she didn't do this, or he didn't do that, and they missed their appointments or things like that. It's because they've got them running at such a pace, and
they can't afford to go back.
No, they can't afford to go back, or they just thought you're probably not likely going to buy, and it's a long drive, and you got X'd off of their list because they're playing the odds of who they think they can close. And we purposely defined this company in a way that we would never have those issues.
Why would you put somebody through a strainer like that?
Oh my God, it'd give you an ulcer.
I mean, just the psychology of, Hitler used to play videos in a room and he'd just make his new Third Reich watch all these things, the blonde hair, blue eye, next guy that's going to rule the earth, Sieg Heil. That's all they're doing. And they're pressuring them so much.
Well, to some degree,
they're going to break.
Yeah, to some degree, it is a form of conditioning. It's also a way to make staff feel they can't do better somewhere else. On top of all that, though,
sad.
So on top of that too, they typically make the staff do their own project management. So they have to they have to find the I've been through it myself.
Geez.
You got to find your customer. You got to go help. Hopefully, you're educating them more than selling them. Once you sell it, then you're taking care of it. You're checking on the installation, the site surveys, and you have to manage in that entire process as well. We normally have PMs here that will help make sure, because when you start to spread yourself that thin, you start to not get the service our customers have come to love.
And you know what? These guys, if they're actually doing that, they're actually taking away from the time that they can make money for their family.
Yeah, they rob their customers some great customer service. They rob themselves of a bigger financial opportunity because they're wearing 3 or 4 or 5 hats instead of doing what they do best, which is hopefully communicating and educating their customers.
Oh, but that's okay because I work for Bozo Solar Company, Well,
there's some there's some that really they think it's prestigious to work for the bigger name.
Here's the sad part.
They figure it out.
They got this flipping sales manager in this room that knows squat, and that's dictating to these guys on how they can be better.
Yeah.
All I want you to do is make more money. Oh, my God. Really? Get in the car, quit talking, and show this guy how it's done.
And a lot of times those guys are...
That's real mentoring.
Yeah, some of those guys, men and women, a lot of them haven't even... Like directors, they haven't even been in the field for a decade.
I know. That's just sad, right?
So,
they come from a Harvard background.
They don't know the day-to-day.
They don't know their butt from a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And, they're in this position to do what? To go on Google and
I have to say that
search how to do things?
I have to say that other companies there was only one company. I mean, obviously outside of here. But we all really work so collaboratively.
Right.
I've only been at one company where my manager knew what he was doing. One.
Wow.
Every other person that was an RSM or something in these companies.
Were you that manager?
No. I actually didn't want to be managers in some of those companies because all you really did was you took on the responsibility of 10 people and you got even more pressure and you typically didn't make as much money.
Yep.
And, I didn't like the way they gave marching orders. And then I would have just been a mouthpiece to have to tell my staff what you just said before. I need more numbers.
Stuff rolls downhill, right?
Yeah, and I'm a realist. I know how much a person, when I meet them, can sell. But what I could tell you is you're not going to provide yourself a great living when you're doing it for somebody else. You've got to start looking at becoming a bit more entrepreneurial with your skill and outfit yourself with someone that's not beating you over the head with the quotas and the thresholds and the project management, all these different things you have to do.
Here's
really
what's going to blow you away. Mm-hmm. In all those states that I just mentioned, especially in California, you only need to do this with us, a home improvement salesperson's license.
Right.
It costs $83.
Right.
And within a month, you can be off to the races.
Right. And in
the meantime, we'll do it for you if you bring in the opportunity.
Right.
And then
we'll train you along the way.
We will still
real training, by the way, right? One-on-one mentoring training. It's something that we've developed. How many people over the years?
Just many. I'm not going to say thousands like some of these clowns would do.
No.
I've been in the business for 10 years. I've developed thousands of people.
Right. But in reality,
they can't even develop themselves.
In reality, a lot of the people you see in like the hardware stores or whatever store it is that's trying to make, basically they're appointment gatherers. Some of them may have only been doing this for 2 weeks before
3 weeks, yeah.
Because they go through normally a 5 to 10 day training period. They may have never sold solar in their life before. They don't know much about it. They know to ask you what your bill is. Is your bill over this amount or under this amount?
Yep.
And they even teach them to raise their hand and lower their hand when they ask for the numbers, so there's a visual. It's really precise how they train these people to go ahead but it's
almost pathetic.
It's nothing like having a true professional that can look at your house and know what you need. You want to hear something really crazy?
Yeah.
So I just talked to someone.
Okay.
I won't mention his
name. Does
he
work at one of those companies?
Works at one of the big ones.
Oh, boy.
And I won't even say the numbers, but I will say this much. I asked him how he was doing, and I said, I had a pretty good month. And I said, oh, great. What did you do? And he said, well, I sold 8 systems. I said, okay.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, that's not bad. And he said, 3 or 4 of them were self-generated. So half was about self-generated, right? And then he told me what he made, and I won't divulge the number, but when I heard that number, I said, no, I meant for all of them. What did you make? That was my next text back to him. I said, was that 1 or 2 of them? He said, no, that's for all of them. And it really made my heart sink, because I'm just like, look, you can't do that to yourself.
Talking about keeping somebody poor.
Well, and that's what they kind of just, it's kind of like the old story that Walmart pays their employees just enough so they can only shop at Walmart. Right?
That's insane. And part of the Walmart motto is when you sign up with them, they make you immediately go to the welfare department
to get
to get food stamps and other stuff that you can't afford to pay for because you're making Walmart wages. Not that Walmart's not doing it. It's a great thing that they're offering this to people. But do you want to stay in that box?
Well, the other thing,
or not?
And the other thing, not to go too far off that tangent, but I
mean, I shop at Walmart.
Six of the family owners have more wealth than 40% of our country.
Yes.
Okay. And the other thing is if that's the case, why is the American public paying through welfare or EDD or something for the rest of their wage because they're a low earner? Why are we paying not only the price in the store, but we're paying for the employees?
Yeah, and
out of our taxes.
Sad being a corporation.
I don't think that should not be allowed.
I get behind it. Let's just say the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, again, I don't mind spending where money has to be spent, but at the end of the year, I got to figure out how to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, no,
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And we're seeing the same thing, like that same thing where staff isn't paid correctly,
and they're 1099.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some are 1099. This individual does have a base, but I mean, we're talking about,
that means he's got more pressure.
So look, if you're a salesperson out there, and you're in, let's say, the solar business, and you're with a company, you might have a $30,000 to $35,000 base or so. That's about average.
Before taxes.
Yeah. Keep in mind, you don't really have a base because as long as you go 90 days without meeting your goals, they take your base and your job away.
Yeah, then you're toast anyways.
It's kind of a pseudo thing, quite honestly, if you're with the correct company.
Maybe they like self-discipline or something like that.
I don't know, but if
they're
you're
into sadomasochism or S&M or something like that.
It's almost a form of self-hate in a way because you're putting yourself into a situation that is never going to get really better. And if you were with
that's
the right
not
company,
motivation, man.
No, and if you got to see the advantage of a 1099 company is part of the reason your overhead is lower is we're not putting a base out there.
Right.
But 1 or 2 sales a month can replace your base.
Wow. Of course.
Now, you can't do it.
It's just weird to see what happens with some of these people and knowing that they're going to go out there, going to drink the Kool-Aid, they're going to read between the lines, and everything's so perfect,
right?
Blah 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 blah. All of a sudden, these guys are broke.
Well, something you got to be careful about is, I hear myself a lot better right now.
Yeah.
One of the things you got to be careful about is also, I'm all for education, I'm all for schooling. Okay?
Sure.
But we've gotten into a trend where education is mostly creating workers.
Yeah, unfortunately.
If we take a look at
putting them into the matrix.
Yeah, you take a look who has really made the biggest changes or made the most money, and about 70-80% of them are college dropouts.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you look at jobs.
That still have this fast loan.
All these people. You look
running after them.
You got Elon Musk that says, I'll take a college grad, but it only mostly shows me you were willing to put up with something for 4 years.
Yeah.
That you committed to it. He said, but what I want is I want a creative problem solver. And I don't care if you went to school to get that. You're there's a lot of companies that require a certain degree.
Which is stupid.
And he's like, no, I require a certain mindset. Because, most of the stuff he's done.
Can't get that in college.
He read his way through most things.
Yeah.
He was a guy that went to a science class and engineering class and said, okay, he's in month 3 and he's like, I read all the books. Do I have to keep coming?
I know.
So
it's just depressing,
and that's the thing.
man.
So just getting into the, the idea of like, you need to take control. Like we ask customers at home, take control of your own utility, become your own utility. I think we're saying the same thing to salespeople in this arena, right?
Absolutely.
Take control of your own future. If you're going to work for the big guy is going to take most of the money.
8 systems. Mm-hmm. Making chump change on every one. Here's where you're not making that much money. Mm-hmm. Is when you drive up to the company that you're working with, mm-hmm. and you see how many Range Rovers, Discoveries, and right. I don't know, maybe there's a Jaguar or 2.
Yeah.
Sitting out front.
Right, and it's only in a couple spots, right?
Yeah, it's only in a couple of spots. Yeah. That's when you're working super hard. Yeah. And Self-Gen's not making that much money? Is that sick or what, dude?
What? So if I look at his number, another example was an individual that sold 25 solar installations
25 deals
in a month. Made a nice chunk of change.
Sure.
Anybody would say
he had to work his butt off.
He was very happy with what he made, right?
Sure.
Until, as we were talking, he said, well, what do you pay for that? And I said, double.
Yeah.
I would have paid you double.
Yeah.
And he said, what do you mean? I go, yeah, I would have paid you double. And
imagine that.
And so we start to understand where the margin is. We know what people make, and we do pay our people well.
Yeah.
But we're very competitive on our price, but we pay people well because we believe the product we're giving our customer and the installation and the service
is
better than everyone else. And that's why it costs a little bit more. But when we're in the house, we're very price competitive, aren't we?
Absolutely.
So, but because we have a leaner machine, we put our money into the product and the service. We put our money back into our people and into their training and everything like that. But that's why we can offer them opportunities. And let me tell you, if somebody that's doing well for themselves, they're happier in your home. They're happier selling to you, educating you, right?
Because they want to put that smile on everybody's face.
Hopefully they love the industry.
Life's good.
We don't hire anyone that doesn't love the industry. You got to love it and bleed solar a little bit, right?
Yeah, right.
But when they're not worried about how they're paying their bill because they're actually doing
Stress is off their shoulders.
Yeah.
Everything is perfect.
And they know they don't have to make that sale. They don't have that commission breath. They don't have to. They just
commission breath.
Yeah,
that's a good
they
one.
know they're taken care of. And I think some of the things we just went through in the past couple of days, we have an amazing opportunity here, and we're talking about expanding it.
Yeah. So those of you that know how to canvas, mm-hmm. can make better money than anybody on the planet. You know why? Because if you have a home improvement salesperson's license, all you're going to do is walk up to the door, knock on it. Hi, Mrs. Jones. My name's Chris, and I'm here today to switch your utility providers.
Yeah.
We're going to switch you from Southern California Edison. Sorry, guys. We're going to switch you to a new company that all you have to do is pay for the energy that you use.
Right.
No money out of pocket.
None.
Zero. They get handled top tier from the day that we hand off to production. Production takes care of everything.
Right.
Within days, they've already got the engineering done, the plans done, the permits are getting processed. They're ready to put that first screw into that truss, right?
Yeah.
They're ready to get done as we speak.
We're averaging 20 days from the date of signing.
20 days from the date of signing to have a complete solar system ready to produce power on your roof.
And if you're going the route that you're kind of alluding to here, where you're just purchasing power, so you're basically kind of switching utilities in a sense.
You're switching utilities.
You don't have to worry about the equipment. You don't have to worry about anything, because for the life that you have that on your roof, everything's being taken care of.
It can be 50 years.
Yes, but I mean, if something goes wrong with that panel, it's taken care of.
100% replaced.
Yeah,
immediately.
So you don't. The worry is on the provider's part, not on yours.
That's right.
The only thing you're doing is you're saying, I'm going to pay less for my utility costs. That's
so
it.
let me get this straight, Rob. If I can come up to you, if I come up, I knock on your door, and I had a compelling story that was actually honest and had integrity, and said, Rob, check this out. Let's call the utility company up, and let's get your kilowatt hours. Let's get what you're paying currently. Yeah. And if I can make what you're currently paying on an average cheaper every month, would you move forward with getting this system from me with absolutely no money out of pocket?
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
How do you say no to that?
Well, it's what we call an anyway.
Let me think about that, Bob.
It's called an anyway cost. I have to spend the money anyway.
You're going to, regardless.
I'm buying energy from someone.
You are going to spend the money anyway.
We're hoping one day, when you, hopefully in the near future, you buy your next home, before you move in, you're going to have a choice of who you're buying your energy from right then and there. They're going to say, do you want Edison or Pasadena Water and Power, or do you want this solar, do you want green, whatever. They don't do that yet, but you could literally do it the week you move in.
So here's what we're also doing as a benefit. We encourage those that are very, very, top part of their game that kind of get it, right? They've been doing this for a while.
Right.
And once they see our platform that's online, it's going to first blow them away. Secondly, the pay scale is going to blow them away again.
Right.
And then we encourage them setting up teams under them.
Sure.
So anybody that's kind of like a sales team, and I know my buddy Corey now is hearing this again. Yeah. So Corey, keep you people out in South Carolina. Come to California. Let's rock and roll right now. Right. So anyways, that being said, we encourage them to expand their little business. Yeah. They don't have to have contractors' licenses in any of these states. We've already got that taken care of.
Right. We have all that put in place.
Everything is in place. So
it's really a turnkey.
Here's another thing that I'm telling people, and this is kind of weird. Everybody thinks, well, you're crazy for doing that. You know what? Stay with Company X. How about bringing some of that self-generated stuff that you just got waylaid over at Company X for nothing, bring it over here, watch the check that I put in your hands, and then tell me if that's going to be good for you.
We call that dipping the toe in the water, right? See how it feels.
Dip the toe in the water, baby.
Or also consider that there are many big branded solar companies that cannot handle a re-roof.
So check this out. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have to say this part.
Yeah, go.
Not only you can stay with Company X. I mean, if that's where you're in a chokehold and you really can't move because you fear that they'll break your neck. Well, how about this? Again, give us that low-hanging fruit. Let us give you a few checks. And then, as you said, dip your toe in the water. On top of that, you get to a certain level, you automatically get into the commercial division of our company.
Right.
You want to make some crazy money?
Yeah.
That's where you start.
Yeah, it's definitely on the commercial.
I mean, to where you're selling 20, 30, 40 systems in a month,
right,
and you think you're making good money?
Yeah.
you can quadruple that.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to do.
No, absolutely.
It's actually easier to sell commercial because I got 64% reasons why.
Yeah, with all the incentives
and everything else,
depreciation.
Right? And on top of that, not only can you get into the commercial division with our company, how about open your horizons to other home improvements that we do?
Well, sure. And think about that.
Did I miss something?
No, but the other thing too is for even people that are, I know solar guys that are working with other companies until they get smarter. But one of the big problems that they have is they come across needing a roof. Customer wants a roof.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But that company does not take care of it, or they're only going to roof under where the panels go.
So what do they do to that company, Rob?
So what happens
that
is
customer.
That salesperson loses that customer because inevitably they can't do the roof, or if they go to someplace else to do the roof, they want to do the solar with the same group.
You lose.
Kind of, so what I tell people too is if you want to stay over there, the next time you have a roof issue, let us do your roof. If you want to take care and do your solar, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. But let us do your roof so at least your deal stays in place. The customer gets what they need. They get a great roof. They get the great solar. And that's fine. But don't lose the deal just because your company works within a very small cookie cutter square,
Yeah, they're so limited.
It's because
let's go another level.
Yeah.
Give us the roof, make some commission on the roof, and then throw that solar system into our network and make even more money.
Yeah, they just have to be. You do have to be a little careful on how they can. You know what I mean?
Well, what I'm talking about is their self-generated ones.
Oh yeah.
Bring all your self-gen. Don't give it to Company X because all you're doing is buying his wife, the owner's wife, another great big ring at the end of the year because to tell him how cool he thinks he is, right? And you get a smorgasbord Christmas.
Oh, the party's
Christmas I guess party. A Christmas party. Yeah. Is Taco Bell doing those things now?
I don't know.
I think they're lowering their standards. But anyways,
some of the
you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I just think, look.
Do that to yourself.
I think fairness is a big deal.
Huge.
We are fair with our customers. We have fair pricing with our customers. We work really hard in that respect. But part of the way we do that is by having really good people. But we have to be fair with them as well. We could be like any other company and take 80-90% of the profit. And let the scraps hit the staff. But we don't do that.
Yeah, the reason we can do all that and have all the operations in place in all these multiple states is because, and how we can afford to buy all these solar systems and stuff like that, because we buy in bulk. Our network buys in bulk.
Yeah.
We get in bulk, man, and we're buying the best of the best, and we're sticking that on people's roofs, and they don't even have to pay for it up front.
No. I mean, you still have the option to buy. You can still purchase. You can still have a loan type, purchase. But there's other ways if you just want to switch and say, look, I'd rather buy my energy cheaper. I don't want the headache of wondering and worrying about what I put on my roof. There are programs that can help you no matter what you're trying to accomplish. But most of all, they're all less expensive than your utility.
And all I have to do is have half a brain and a heartbeat to make the move. Or hang out with Company X. We don't care.
Yeah.
You can go out there and be cool and wear a really nice shirt and drive all over Southern California.
We have
burn your cars up.
We have nice shirts.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but they are. You know what it is too? It's this company runs more like a family. And
I don't know. There's no stress.
No. I will honestly say this. I never regret a Monday morning or thinking I have to go into the office. There are days I don't need to go into the office, and I do because I get to do a podcast or talk with you, Chris, or hang out with the people here.
I get to fly a kite sometimes.
You get to fly kites sometimes, and we get really excited about putting systems together and helping people.
I'm just
really
excited.
Love it.
I'm excited for what's going to happen to you first part of next year and all these other little things
There's a lot of stuff coming.
You're working on right now.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to take you to the next level. And the greatest thing is, man, you're your own boss.
And that's kind of what we give people the ability to be. Become more of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Learn your craft really well. We'll help you learn it beyond what you think you already know. Trust me, you've learned nothing yet. We've got decades of experience here. Learn that, then develop your own little team and take care of them like we try to take care of you. And there's a lot of opportunity here.
We can also give you additional tools.
Yeah.
We know these marketing companies, the same one that these guys are buying from.
Mm-hmm.
And we can show you how to put a little bit of fuel in that gas tank and to do the same thing that they're doing. The difference is you're going to take home a bunch more opportunities.
Well, the thing is, you're in power to decide what you earn.
Imagine that.
You want to sell one more system.
Canvassers that are out there right now, if they're smart, they'll get this home improvement salesperson's license.
Yeah.
They're already in their customers' faces.
Yeah, they're already there.
All they got to do is say, "Hi, Mr. Jones, can I take your electric bill from here to there?"
Yeah.
It's a simple form to fill out.
Super simple.
We'll do everything after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
And who wants to make $15 an hour?
Yeah. No.
What is $15 an hour divided by 3? What is that like?
Well,
I don't know. It's like $10
per year.
Per hour. It's like
after
taxes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's about $10 an hour.
Yeah.
Forget the cost of living. You can't survive if it goes up 3%.
No, and people that are like we said before, people that are worried about that, they're not doing their job very well because they're very distracted. We get to, make a good living, a nice living, have a lot of fun, and still give, seriously, we use the top equipment out there. We only have the top installations, and
20 days,
and we're fairly priced
in 20 days.
We might not be the lowest price.
No,
we're far from the top as well. But because cheap is never the cheapest, as we talked about. But we're extremely competitive, and in most cases, we're the same price as some of the lower end stuff, and we're putting top panels on your property. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is totally just mind-boggling to me.
No, well, we've worked it out well, right? It's working well. We've got a great system, and everyone wins.
I've only worked 9 to 5 for everybody else in the past, and have made business owners millionaires.
Yeah.
And now they're not doing too well because the cheese has moved.
Yeah.
You see, what I do is I take a little bit different perspective, and I put everything in the right where it needs to be in the round peg and round hole,
right?
Instead of in a square hole. You can't do that, right?
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be leaks somewhere.
Yeah.
So when you finish the product correctly, and then you wrap it up with a nice red bow, I get excited to be able to tell people, "Hey, we know we can do better for you." Mm-hmm. And again, I'm not saying quit company XYZ.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is learn the process.
Yeah.
Put your toe into the water.
Yeah.
And then get a couple of checks put in your bank.
Sometimes I don't think they believe it. I could do a whole podcast. We could spend an hour, and I could list down everything these companies do. All right.
Oh, yeah.
And
you and I know a bunch of them.
And let me tell you, you would have so many people just contacting us because we know what it is. Because here's the thing with the companies. I got to tell you, it's very... So they get you on your quota, right?
Yep.
Let's say the quota is 10 a month. Congratulations, Chris. You hit your 10. That's fantastic. How do you feel? You did great.
I feel great, Bob.
Yeah. I think you did so well. I think you could do 15 next month.
Exactly.
Okay. And then you do 15, and you're on your way to 20. By the way, now 15 became the new base. You can't go below, or you're in trouble, or you go on PIP,
right.
or you lose your job. So it went from, and it's just this, it's this inflation of what they expect from you. And I know a company that started where if you made 7 to 8 deals a month, that was good. And as of late, so then it became double digit. They wanted double digit. Then it became 12, and then it became 14. Now they expect 18 to 20 plus deals a month. And not that, if you don't keep hitting that number, you're in trouble. And you can't do that to people because it's an ever increasing stress, and it's the frog in the water. Remember?
Yep, frog in the water.
Okay, so they're starting to raise the temperature on you slowly, so you don't just jump out. And these companies are doing the same thing, because if one day they just came in and said, "Chris, you did 10, I want 20 next month," you'd be, "What the heck? How am I going to do that?"
Right.
But they didn't do that. They went 10 to 12 to 14.
And the justification is, "Well, you're going to make more money, Bob."
Yeah. But then you get the people coming back and they say, well, you know what, I'm challenging you on that number because that had a roof issue and we had to put something more in there. So you were under par,
Rob,
and you're going to get paid a little less on that job.
So sorry.
It just happened, but it's coming out of your side.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You didn't see that with the service panel or
There's
something.
so many tricks being pulled on.
And, that $1,000 you were going to make, hey, listen, you made $250, okay?
Yeah, I've seen some very drastic things. I've seen one company, I think one of the most extreme things I've ever seen.
What's that?
Is a company where the appointment setter in a store threw these appointments up, and the guy that was selling for him just threw so much spaghetti to the wall, and most of these deals should have never been sold because the people weren't really, some weren't qualified, but more importantly, they just weren't the right thing to do. Like, these people were not going to save. People were being told they're going to get their tax incentive back. It's not a check, guys. It's an incentive. It could come in the form of a refund if you have the liability for it, but all this stuff. So guess what happened? The boss came out and said, anybody that has any bad deals on the table, you can flush them this month and we won't count it against you. So, unfortunately, the poor...
Seriously?
Yeah, the poor appointment setter.
Wow.
The appointment setter, though, that made the appointments for the guy that flushed all the bad deals, guess what happened to him?
He got promoted?
No. He got a clawback. His next paycheck...
Oh.
No, hold on. His next paycheck was negative $1,400.
Yay.
Negative.
Good for him.
It just wasn't zero. He lost his whole
Negative.
pay plus a negative $1,400
Good for him.
to make up because... This guy, actually, the guy that sold it, buggered up the guy that was making the appointments. He didn't really do anything wrong. The other guy still had to qualify it. But I look at all these different things that play in these big companies, and it's they used to call it the solar coaster.
Solar coaster.
Have you heard
I
that
love
one?
It. No.
Because
commission breath, solar coaster.
The ups and downs.
Oh, yeah.
And what happened was anytime somebody at a director level just said, I need more sales, all of a sudden they would pull you in on a Monday morning. They throw some bagels out there and say, we need double from you this month. And, so it was all over the board so much. Yeah. And the problem is I'm just talking about it. I tell you.
If you don't, Rob.
Just talking about it brings up so many memories that even when I hear from my friends today that are at these companies, we have none of that here. I just don't understand it.
We
have such a relaxed, environment here. We deal with our customers, the way we like to be dealt with.
Yep.
We
respect,
in fact,
integrity,
great rapport with people. We keep in touch with some. We repeat business because they see who we are and how we are.
See, the greatest thing about our company is not only are they going to be able to do the solar side.
Yeah.
They get to jump into this commercial side,
whole
which
different
is
world.
a different world that
Absolutely.
they're going to love from start to finish. And then imagine this. They can recall their customer back once the solar job is done. Hey, Mrs. Jones, how about those windows now?
Yeah.
Let's do a double. Let's do a triple. I mean, customers really, like when I did all the improvements for my house, I'm not kidding you. It's been super hot outside. Mm-hmm. When I walk into my home without the air conditioner, it's 30 degrees cooler.
Yeah, you didn't melt.
Why?
Yeah.
Live paint, laminate flooring, dual pane windows, insulation, and one of the most important things that I did for my house was a Lumawood patio.
Yeah.
So I'm reflecting all this heat off my house. I've got a really cool look inside.
Right.
I got a decent look outside.
You did the whole house fan too, didn't you?
Oh yeah, one of the best things I ever did. Was the quiet, cool whole house fan.
You add some of these
and that's
things,
without solar.
Yeah, you add some of these things. So what's cool about it is there's a lot of different ways to make your house more efficient. Because when it comes to solar, we still want to put the smallest system we can.
Yep.
So we can give you those insights as far as we look at the whole house, we look at the whole envelope, and that's fantastic.
That's why you go to an appointment, right?
Yeah, like my little place, it's not big, but it's more of a mid-century modern. It's got still some of the block walls, all filled
convection
with
cooling. Imagine that.
So when I walk in and it's 100 degrees out, I walk in and go, yeah, I'd probably put the air on in a little while, but I'm not dying. It's cooler.
Getting cooled from the earth.
It's fantastic. So, but we can look at a lot of things to try to make your home as efficient as you can. But for God's sake, right now with solar and the way these utilities are going up, it's really something most Americans
41
need.
cents, baby.
Most
Southern
people need to look
California
at
Edison.
And then for salespeople out there, whatever they're saying out there, this is a booming market. It's only going to get bigger in California, especially as these rates go up. The challenge is you might not, you need to consider where you're working from.
You're a consumer, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say your electric bill was at, I don't know, time of use is tough now.
Especially the time it is. Yeah.
It's 41 cents, man.
Yeah, 41
so
cents.
if I can convert that down to 18 cents, cut that in half,
Right.
wouldn't you at least look at my proposition?
Absolutely.
My proposal is going to be quite attractive.
Yeah.
And the greatest thing is electric rates are going up 7% per year.
Yeah.
Yours will go up a couple of points.
Yeah, you could also flatten it out if you want, but even if you went
Make
out,
it zero.
Yeah. So I mean, looking at that 6 or 7% every year going up,
that's a lot of money in 10 years.
Well, it's not even 70% because it's compounded. It's more than 70%, right?
Yes, it is.
So I mean, that's the problem.
So at the end of the day, if you're a solar sales guy and you want to expand your horizon by getting into other home improvements, number one, we can do that. Firstly, we want you to stay with Company X. We don't want you to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Just bring over some of that fruit that you're not going to make a lot of money on. And then let me write a bunch of checks to you so you can see that what we're saying is actually true.
Right.
And then once you put your toe into the water and you've made that, ability to say, hell yeah, I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to go over to Company Y or QHI, right? I'm going to go work with these guys, and we're going to give you the tools to show you how simple this is. You're not only going to make more money selling solar, you're going to do more home improvements for your customer. You're going to go back and do seconds and load them up for doubles and triples. And then on top of that, you're going to graduate into the commercial side of things. And then once all that's done, commercial's great, right? You got residential, you got commercial, you got multiple products. We're going to bring you into multiple states.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to set up a sales team and go out there and canvass the bejesus out of Eastvale, for example, right? Why wouldn't you do that? And here's one more thing, and I have to say, we're also tied into house flippers and, people that are actually doing some crazy acquisitions, notice of defaults and stuff like that. Why couldn't we teach you that as well? And then we'll show you how to get the data. In fact, how about this, Rob? I'll give you the data for the commercial side on who to make the phone calls with.
Right.
We'll do all the back end work.
Right.
And then you can kind of have maybe you work 4 days a week.
Yeah, we kind of
3-day weekend. Work like a fireman. Work 4 days and get 3 days off.
I come in every day
and make good money.
I don't have
more than
to,
a fireman,
right? I come in every day.
And you don't have to chase fires.
No.
Ding 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 ding.
I come in 5 days a
Hello.
week, not because I have to. I like to. It's entertaining. We have a good time, and that's what's also nice. Walking into a door in a place that you're happy to show up at.
Yeah.
Do you know how rare that is now? And work with people with absolute integrity.
Oh yeah.
That don't ever sell the wrong.
We refuse to
deal.
be beat up in any way.
No,
and or let our customers suffer the same wrath.
And look at just even talking to a couple of our customers the other day, and I overheard you walking down the hallway.
Oh yeah.
And hearing one of our customers on the phone because you had a month speaker say, "I love you guys." It's because of how we treat everyone. Well, we treat our customers that way. We treat our people that work with us that way. It's a great opportunity.
People helping people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because it has to be a win for everyone. It really does.
Imagine that.
Unfortunately, some of these bigger companies, they forgot that.
Starting your own little company.
Yeah.
You don't need a contractor's license.
Yeah.
$83. Home improvement salesperson's
Absolutely.
license.
And you're ready.
And that's it. You're ready to go.
Yeah. And we provide training. We provide everything.
Again, if you got half a brain and a heartbeat and you want to make more money and you love to canvas, you don't even have to canvas. You can be on a phone talking to people, doing the Google Earth, looking at their roof, and before you know it, everybody's e-signing stuff.
We have ways of searching down properties by different criteria. A lot of ways of finding decent-sized homes with the correct roofs and maybe a pool that we know automatically they've got a big bill. Help them reduce that bill.
Help me help you.
Yeah. And let me tell you, the more people you go out there and you help them save money, isn't that great though?
It's a great feeling, man.
We earn our living by helping people save more of what they earn.
Imagine that. What a great industry.
It's very cool.
I just love it, man.
It's very cool.
So if you're smart and you want to do the right thing, I mean, seriously, they can just call the shop here.
Call the shop, talk to one of us.
800-275-2154. Call me on my cell if you want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. I'm the owner of the company. 909-609-5437. If you're on LinkedIn, check me out. It's Solar Consultant. That's who I am. Mm-hmm. And then look at that little thing that I put up. And you know what? Everybody at those other companies, owners, should be shaking in their boots right now. They're about to have an attrition that they cannot conceive.
Well, I think what we want to.
My phone's already starting to ring.
What we always wanted to do is kind of, from our inside point of view, be able to help homeowners understand really what's going on and how they're getting taken advantage of.
Yep.
We're kind of now doing that a bit with salespeople in this arena, and we want to just put the light on everything.
It's all education, buddy.
That's all it is. But shed a light on everything so people absolutely know, what the opportunities are.
Yep, they deserve the change. Yep. All you got to do is take a peek at it.
Absolutely.
Right?
If you have integrity, if you got good, solid ethics.
Well, and if you want to do a good living for your family, this is exactly what you should be thinking about.
Exactly.
All right, buddy. Hey, Rob, thanks a million, man.
Absolutely.
I love hanging out with you. This is great. We're just trying to make sense of this whole thing. Yeah. And if anybody that's working for XYZ in San Diego or anybody throughout Southern California and you really want to do something good for yourself and your family, this is the current opportunity.
Maybe lower your stress rate at the same time.
It comes with a psychologist and a doctor.
That was a big deal for me.
Absolutely.
It really was. Fantastic.
All good in the neighborhood. Hey, I'll see you next time, partner.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Thanks, Rob.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye, everyone.
The Energy Hour was brought to you by...
Got your latest electric bill? Is it less than last month or last year? Probably not. But if you had a solar system from QHI, it would be. Your electric meter could be running backwards. Right now, get a QHI system installed for no money down, no out-of-pocket expenses. Get an immediate savings on your electric bill. Call 909-609-5437. Solar is all they do. Call QHI 909-609-5437.
For beauty, efficiency, and power, the only product we know in the solar industry is Solaria. Maximum power. For nearly 25 years, Solaria has set the pace for solar panel performance, efficiency, reliability, quality, and design. Maximum power. Solaria continues to leverage its patented technology, engineering expertise, and sophisticated automation into creating one of the most attractive, energy-efficient solar panels available on the market today. Maximum power. What really defines home solar? How about Solaria? Quality you can trust for your home or business. Solaria is the new benchmark for solar energy. Where do you get this panel for your home or business? Go to QHIinc.com. That's QHIINC.com/Solaria. SOLARIA.
Thank you for listening to The Energy Hour. Visit them on the internet by going to QHIinc.com/TEO. That's QHIINC.com/TEO.